Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Candidly with Coffee.
Yes, we are back.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
I know it's Monday, but I mean, you get to listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
To start off the week.
Man, yeah, exactly. Be safe out there. We got a lot of rain this week, Californians.
Well,
Bay
that's
Area.
for our California. Well, who knows what the weather's like in like the East Coast and all of that right now. Do you know?
No, I don't. I never checked it.
Yep. I mean, technically, we are in winter still. It's
Yes.
not spring until a couple more weeks. So it's funny how we get mad when there's bad weather in March, but it's winter.
I know. We're just so
winter.
slow. We're just so quick till we want to get to that good weather. Like, all right,
I know.
we're over it, but we got to go through a little more.
Yeah.
And even then, spring, it rains in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
It rains in March and April sometimes.
March showers
Yes.
bring spring flowers.
Yes.
Have you ever heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, March showers are bringing the weeds to our house. We need
Yes.
to have, I was peeked out in the backyard and there's weeds growing in the backyard.
Man.
We need to have that done this
Relentless.
week. Yeah. Weeds are relentless,
Yes,
man.
they are. You can't get rid of them.
No, you get beautiful flowers given to you for an occasion and they're dead in like a few days. But weeds,
Forget
they will
about it.
live through anything.
Yeah, they'll live through a nuclear bomb. They'll still be here afterwards.
God, it's annoying.
You'll
It's so
wipe them
weird.
out for a little bit, and they'll come right back, little by little, poking through, like we're still here.
I mean, we've done so many different things. There's this one purple plant in our front yard. We've pulled it so many times. Pulled it, put weed killer, done so many things. It keeps coming back.
Yeah. It doesn't want to go. I'm like, all right, you can get rid of it temporarily, but I'm coming right back.
Yeah, it's relentless. And it's like this vibrant purple plant. I mean, it could be pretty, but I don't want it. I don't know if it's poisonous to dogs or whatever, so I just want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Friday night we went to see a movie, and I like whenever we see a movie, I like to give movie recommendations on here because I like to get recommendations. Creed 3, loved it.
It's a good movie.
Michael B. Jordan, it's a spinoff of the popular series, the Rocky series. We're huge fans of that. I mean, obviously we have 2 dogs named after the movie, Rocky and Apollo.
Yes.
But so far I've really liked the Creed series. I feel like the storylines are really good.
Yeah. They've done a good job of that.
They've done a good job, creative storylines, but I loved this one. I thought it was really good. And our movie theater has these new things called the D-Box seats, and they're like an immersive experience where it moves, and it almost gave me motion sickness, but we felt like we were in the boxing ring. It was like,
Yeah, because it catches you off guard. You're sitting there, all of a sudden they start throwing, and the seat starts moving. With the punches.
Like it kind of jolted me a few times, but I really liked it though.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
You could alter the intensity. Of course, I put it all the way up.
We got to go see Fast and Furious in those seats.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know me, I'm like a little kid with those car movies.
Well, because during the car scenes, it vibrated and you felt like you were in the car driving with them. It was really cool, actually.
Technology's getting crazy, huh?
Yeah.
I think in the future, honestly, we're all gonna go to a theater. We'll probably put like some sort of headsets on, and we're gonna like be in the movie.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm? Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's gonna be too realistic.
No,
I
think they have that technology already. It's just a matter of making it cost effective and doing it more regular. I know that many years ago, I went to
3D was our old technology. Remember 3D?
Yeah, but that sucked.
Yeah.
I remember many years ago, I went to something in Vegas with my kids and my family. It was like it was a very immersive experience.
Yeah.
Because the screen is all around you.
Okay.
So you're in like an auditorium where the screen is all around.
I think I saw that.
It was very cool. It was at the Luxor. It was the coolest experience. You literally felt like you were in it. And I think you're right. I think that's where it's going. I think years from now, you know how like the rides at Universal Studios are very immersive?
Yes.
I think years from now, our regular movie will be like a ride at Universal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow. It's crazy the way we're advancing with technology, with everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the experiences.
It doesn't make it puts it into perspective when you think about your childhood. And I know it's making me sound old, but
like go back to
like,
the eras
well,
we
I
come
recently just made had an epiphany of how excited we used to get with digging through the cereal box for the little crappy toy at the bottom of the cereal. I used to open up all the cereal boxes, stick my dirty, grungy hand inside,
Oh my goodness.
and dug through to get the toy.
That's why we're built different. We had different enzymes and people, all the kids did that. Putting their hands, probably not wash and digging for the toy. We're all eating out of the same cereal box.
For some crappy toy. Yeah. If you tried to give a kid from today one of the toys that we got from our cereal box, they would throw it and they would be like, what the hell is that? I don't want it.
Yeah, what is this?
And we got so excited about that.
It's like they're advanced little kids now, huh? Yes. What excited us doesn't faze them.
A little plastic like spider ring or something. It was the stupidest thing.
And my mom worked. Cracker Jack box. Remember that one too?
Yeah, also. And they would you get like little stickers or a tattoo. My mom worked for Kellogg's, so we had a lot of cereal.
Man.
And that was my thing. Was digging through for the cereal or getting a Happy Meal toy or just stupid.
Happy Meal toy. They still have those?
Yes, and I think kids still get excited about the Happy Meal toy. Although I'm sure that the Happy Meal toy has improved. I don't think it's as janky as the ones that we used to get.
Yeah, I know. You got to think about it. We come from a much different era.
But everybody is going to say that. Everybody comes from, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. You're
right.
So
I always stop to think like, what are the things that are going to be...
Like your father's era. It's so different than our era.
Yeah.
Like think about what he didn't get to
So I try to think of the future and think of like, what is that going to be like? Where they can say like, oh my gosh, I remember when we used to actually have to wait for our food to be delivered. What are they going to say then? I remember before, is it going to be drone deliveries or something? Or
you're right.
I don't know what's going to change, but something is.
This is what's making people crazy because we're advancing fast, but you're right.
Yeah, we are advancing fast, faster.
Super fast. Listen, we're both 70s, born 70s. Mm-hmm. Nothing really happened in the 80s. Technology the cars that Americans were making were terrible in the 80s, 70s, 80s.
The 80s.
90s, they improved a little bit. Then when internet came, 2000. So
that changed a lot.
That changed. That kind of sped us up. And then cell phones, of course, after that. And from 2000 and on, it kind of taken off. And now it's even like hyperspeed.
Yeah, because internet, faster. I remember.
Dial up. Remember that?
I worked at a bank, and this is when email first started, but internet wasn't widely used yet. It was in the late 90s.
Yes.
And I discovered, leave it to me, I swear to God, because we got email addresses and we thought it was so cool to email each other like employees, but it was internal email only. Well, I discovered a setting where I could send an email externally.
No way.
And I sent an external email. I remember my coworkers are like, how did you do that? You're going to get fired, or what is that? Like, I was able to send an external email.
Wow.
Before it ever, and I don't even know, I was fiddling around with settings, and there was like a setting, and it was the coolest thing. But I bet
you felt like, wow, I discovered something like a little secret.
Yeah, it was really cool. Damn. So, anyways, moving on. I had the most delicious acai bowl. I just wanted to throw it out there for the local listeners who are fans of Luna Mexican Kitchen. Luna Mexican Kitchen is my favorite restaurant by far for many reasons. They have the best skinny spicy margarita. Mm. But I had the most delicious acai bowl I think I ever had on Saturday morning. It was the Power Acai Bowl. It was a fresh acai. You could tell it was so fresh. And it was, it had almond butter, a little bit of granola, a little bit of blueberries, half a banana. It wasn't overdone.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you get an acai bowl and you're trying to be like a little cleaner or whatever, and they load it with granola and they put an entire banana and a gazillion different fruits, and you don't need all that.
Yeah.
You got your acai. Yep. Like, enjoy the acai with a little bit of toppings. They put a modest tablespoon of almond butter on the top. I will pop it up on the screen for you guys because it's delicious. You got to check it out. If you're watching on YouTube, you will see it. I'm curious. I know that whenever I post about Luna, people ask me where it is. It's a Luna Mexican Kitchen that I go to all the time. If you happen to see me there, say hello. Because I always feel like I'm recognized there because people know I go there so much. Like, we walked in this Saturday morning, and I don't know what, there was 3 girls sitting, and if it was you, hello, say hi next time. But they all stopped and turned around, and they were just like talking. And so I'm like, either they recognize me or they like my shoes or something's up. But it was a little awkward, like,
You kind of know.
I felt it.
Yeah.
So if you recognize me, I'm just a normal Joe, especially if you see me at Luna, like, say hello for sure.
Yeah. That place is good. I love their food, their drinks.
Lisa had a margarita. I didn't have a margarita
Wonderful.
because the combo to me, like a margarita with an acai bowl.
Yeah, that's weird.
So
that
I
doesn't
skipped.
Doesn't flow.
It's not.
I wouldn't do that
I'm not
either.
vibing with that. But, and I brought you home some horchata French toast. Did you like
good.
that?
Delicious.
Really good.
Delicioso.
All right. So, hot coffee drama on my. I have to touch base. I know many of you guys probably don't watch this show, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because it brings me to a little bit of a topic. But there's major drama in the Bravo world. Vanderpump Rules is a show that I've been watching forever. It's a spinoff from Real Housewives, but there's a cheating scandal going on where one of the main characters, Tom Sandoval, has been with his girlfriend Ariana Madix for 9 years. They live together. They are, they've been on the show for years. They're one of the longest running couple. And there's another girl, Raquel, who used to date one of the other cast members, but she's in the friends group, been around for years as well. She broke up with the other cast member and has been homie hopping, as what they call it, through the friend group.
Hopping.
Okay, through the friend group, just making out and hooking up with everyone. But
that's a homie hopping.
Over the weekend or a couple of days ago, Ariana found videos of Raquel on her man's phone.
No bueno.
And it exposed. And so when she saw the recent video, she did a little digging and they discovered they were having a full-on affair.
It'd be your own people that do you dirty.
I know. And
so
I hadn't watched Vanderpump the current season. I've been meaning to watch it, but I hadn't. So I kind of binged watched it this weekend a little bit. I watched 4 or 5 of the episodes. And she's really good friends with the girlfriend. They're good friends.
That's why I said it'd be your own people.
Shady.
You can't be trusted. What do you always say? Moral of the story. What do you always say? Moral of the story.
Yeah.
You can't even trust your own homegirls. You can't trust anybody. You can't even trust your own friends. It's crazy.
You can't. And you know what? It makes me...
And it goes both ways. It's not just... Don't think it's women. Men do that too.
No, I know.
Snakes
it's
too.
Both.
Yes.
It is both.
It is.
But it just made me think. So I'm not going to go into Vanderpump Rules right now because I know many of you guys probably don't watch that show. But it just made me think of that dynamic. First of all, is it appropriate let's talk about the girl. The girl broke up with one of the guys on the show, and then she started to hook up with other guys on the show, but they were exes of friends. No, the single ones, but they were exes of friends. Do you agree with that? Do you think that should be allowed?
Disgusting. Mm-mm. That's like, I'll make an example. I've had friends that I've known their girlfriends. So they break up. I might bump into their ex somewhere down the line. And they kind of want to slip the number up.
Yeah.
I don't. I have some, it just don't feel right.
It doesn't feel right.
It don't feel right with me.
And you got to understand
that's just me.
Especially if the breakup is fresh. If the breakup's not fresh, that's different. But if it's within the first year of a breakup, especially of a marriage, I think that it's very slippery slope. And what I don't agree with also is like, because some of the friends in this particular friend group are saying like, oh yeah, you should hook up with Tom because he's, he just got divorced from Katie. So it's okay, even though you're friends with Katie, because she's already moved on. No, your friends should not be hooking up your ex with their friends.
Yeah, that's dirty. That's not cool.
It's awkward. It happened to me. And I thought it was, listen, it doesn't mean that you're not over the relationship. You're over it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's over, but it's still weird.
Yeah.
If your friend is hooking up your ex with one of their friends.
Yeah.
It feels weird.
Yeah, snaky.
And it did happen to me.
Some backstabbing stuff right there.
Yeah, it just felt weird. It just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
So I can relate to this circumstance. It doesn't feel right. But in this circumstance, the girl is now, she's having an affair with someone who's not broken up. And he's literally in a relationship with a long-term relationship.
I wonder what the psyche is behind that. Like, do people ever interview this women? Because why is it that you go after somebody that's in a full-blown relationship when there's other single people in the world?
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Why do you want to do? Is it to get your rocks off, knowing like, damn, I'm hanging out with this girl and I'm banging her man? Is there some sickness inside of them? You think some sick, malicious something?
I don't. A jealousy, like they want what you have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it also made me think of other questions regarding this type of stuff. Do you think it is appropriate to remain friends with someone that you have a past, like remain friends with an ex or someone that you've had a sexual relationship with?
Remain friends?
Yeah, like friends with an ex.
And you're in a full-blown relationship
Yes.
or full-blown marriage?
Yes.
No. It's dangerous. Slippery slope.
Yes.
Because, I'll elaborate. Say me and you have a fight. We have a blowout. I'm fucking mad. I'm friends with this ex of mine. I start venting to her.
Yeah.
And she becomes the captain and tells me what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And like you always say, careful with the emotions when you're vulnerable.
Yes.
That's when things happen. You don't mean for it to happen, but little by little.
Right.
There's kink in the armor. So, no, because you're playing with fire.
Yeah. I agree. I think that, you know,
Leave exes in the past.
it is different to like be friendly. You know what I mean?
Like if I bumped, I wonder that. Like how would I be awkward? I haven't seen my ex in
It would probably be awkward because
14 years. I don't even know if I'd say
Yeah.
hi. I don't know. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like what do you do if you see somebody an ex?
I think it would be like it's okay to be not to be civil, but you shouldn't have like a deep friendship with someone that you have a past with. Like with Robert and I, the only reason we communicate, it's always been civil, but the reason we communicate is because we have kids. If we didn't,
Yes, that's understandable.
and now that once our kids became adults, we kind of stopped communicating because there's really no need. We would only if we had to.
Yeah.
But we did while they were young. But you have to be.
You have to co-parent. I mean, you
Yeah,
have to know
that's
what's going
different.
on.
That is different. But if we had no kids, we would have never talked again.
Yeah.
But if we would have seen each other, maybe we could be cordial, whatever. I don't know. I would hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Cordial is different than a friendship. I remember I had issues with that in the beginning of our relationship because you wanted to hold on to your little people and you would call them, oh, that's just my homie. But I would find out later, like, oh, your homie that you've been with before. That's not a homie. You could speak up.
Yeah.
You were guilty of that. And I did not agree with it. And I would argue with you sometimes, being like, I'm not okay with that. That's a hard no for me. If you had a romantic relationship with somebody, they are out.
Yeah, it's true. Because you're playing with fire.
And you agree with me because you just agreed with me. But it used to be an argument when we were first dating, when we were first together.
We're talking about 12 plus years ago.
I know. Well,
I was a different guy back then. A little wild, coming out of feeling myself. I was single and do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. Excuse my French. You know what I'm saying? My attitude was a lot different.
Of course. But
I wasn't even sure if I wanted to settle down. I was still like, I don't know if I want someone telling me what to do because of what I went through before previously. You know what I mean? Like,
but I was clear on what my boundaries were. I'm not a jealous person.
You're not.
But I'm big on respect and on don't make me look stupid.
Yeah.
Because to me, if you have someone who you've been with or whatever, and you guys are communicating, in their head they're thinking like, oh, she doesn't even, like her man's talking to me or communicating with me or whatever, and that makes me look stupid. I do not like to look stupid, but I was always really weird about that.
Yeah.
Early on, and I'm firm on that.
I was more mature back then. I mean, I'm way different now.
Obviously, I'm not comparing it to now
because
to be honest, if we would filter through our relationship through our previous relationship through today's lens, 99% of this shit wouldn't fly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's part of progression, though. That's natural progression of a relationship. Things that I let go back then, I would never let go if they happened again now.
Yeah.
Right? That's normal. That's a normal progression of relationship. I'm just, just trying to have dialogue. And just to show that, listen, we've never come on here and said, oh, we're perfect. We've had the perfect relationship. We've always made the best choices. We've never messed up. No, that's not.
They used to always say, I like bad boys. Well, you sure got one and then some. A wild boy. I mean, it took a minute to calm down, but
well, but
I did. I evolved. I'm a different person. But there's some people in my age group that can't evolve. They're still chasing that.
No. And
Crazy.
None of that.
Going out, chasing it. What do? You just tap out. It's over.
I know. But
we had our time.
I mean, long story short, though, definitely do not hook up with your friend's exes. That's a no bueno.
It's just, it doesn't feel good. I don't know. It feels like you're sneaking around type shit. I don't know.
It's weird. Or in this case, of Vanderpump Rules, and they're filming, so it'll play out on the next season. But I don't know what the hell this girl was thinking, having this affair. Like, you really thought you'd be able to keep it under wraps?
Yeah, people are delusional.
It always comes out. The truth always comes out.
It's like psychotic.
The truth always comes out. That's all I got to say. Okay. This is another good hot coffee topic because I know that people, I saw this on my phone this morning and I know that people are going to be like, see, it does cause death or heart attacks. And it just irritates me. Clickbait. Okay. The people Instagram have posted an article and the headline is artificial sweeteners linked to blood clots and heart attacks. New study finds.
Artificial sweeteners?
Yes.
Why am I still alive then?
But hold on. So here's the thing. The problem is most people will just read that. And then now they've filed that away. That's their knowledge. Oh, yes. That causes heart attacks and strokes.
Yes.
Okay. Some people will read what they wrote.
They should be careful.
And I'll put up the post. But it says a 0-calorie sweetener may be causing heart attacks and blood clots. A study published Monday found that erythritol, a sugar substitute typically used in keto-reduced products, is linked to blood clotting, stroke, heart attack, and death. Researchers found that individuals who had pre-existing risk factors for heart disease with the highest level of erythritol in their blood were shown to have twice the risk for health conditions. Okay, so that's what the article talks about, right? So that makes you a little scared. But let's talk about the facts.
This.
Okay.
Yes, the facts.
So erythritol is a powerful sweetener, but it's also produced naturally in the body. Okay. But it's found in a lot of diet drinks, low-calorie beverages. And the study that they're talking about was 1,500 people, and it was done over the course of 3 years. So this study looked up the levels of erythritol in the blood over a 3-year period and compared them to cardiac events and mortality. Guess what the study didn't do? It didn't examine erythritol intake. So none of these people did they say, oh, this person is consuming this much erythritol, therefore they have this much in their system and it's leading them to have a heart attack or stroke.
So they didn't monitor that or measure
They did not measure that at all.
Oh my goodness.
And erythritol is something naturally occurring in the body. You do not have to consume it to have it in the body. It is a compound that is produced naturally by our body as part of the pentose phosphate pathway. The population they studied for this study were very sick people. Over 40% of the people had already had heart attacks. Over 15% were in heart failure. And 25% of them had type 2 diabetes.
So they picked like the bottom of the bottom of the bottom.
They were very sick people.
They're already on their way out.
Yes, and they also did not factor in whether these already sick people were consuming erythritol. They were just measuring erythritol in their bloodstream, which is a natural occurring system in our bodies. So the study does not correlate to erythritol in food that you're consuming. It does not correlate. But yet, does the people.com or the People article on Instagram differentiate that? No, it does not.
Clickbait. They want to get people to their page, click. That's what we talked about, not to go backward, but that clickbait stuff. Remember, they'll tell you like the half truth.
Because the truth is people with this particular metabolic profile have been shown to have overactive PPP and are likely to overproduce erythritol. Oh. So that's why they can make the connection.
Got it.
So, but it's irrelevant to...
It still did really know nothing.
No. Not in terms of, it's not telling you that you cannot have erythritol. It does not correlate. But this is exactly the type of thing that now...
It'll go viral?
From now till kingdom come, I am going to hear that erythritol causes strokes.
Yeah.
And the people are going to see me drinking something sugar-free, and they're going to say, you're going to have a stroke, because they read...
Cite your source, homie.
A line. They read a headline.
I read it at People. That's a magazine. They're not scientists or doctors. They just put stuff up there, and it's up to you to read it and dissect it and see if it's facts or not. Just because they post it doesn't mean it's set in stone.
And it's not the erythritol. So these people that have the high levels of erythritol, it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg, right?
Yeah.
Did they get sick because they had high erythritol? or because they were sick, their body produced more erythritol. It's the latter.
The question that should
it's
be
the
asked,
latter,
right?
because it causes an overactive PPP system or whatever. And I'm not going to pretend I understand that piece of it, but it's important to know because this study was not about whether you should consume erythritol or not. It's just a finding as part of whatever else they were actually looking for. But in reality, they took a bunch of sick people and monitored them for 3 years and determined that those sick people had a high chance of having a cardiac event. What a shock. They were diabetic. They were overweight.
Exactly.
They were all the things.
Comorbidities, the ones that are going to get you.
What I would be more interested in is take 1,500 people that are healthy, healthy BMI, healthy health markers, not diabetic, no cardiac events in the past, none of those things. Monitor their erythritol intake and see if they can find anything out of that. They probably have done that study and they didn't find anything. So that's why we don't hear about it.
You know, it's crazy. I've been drinking low-calorie diet sodas, sweeteners since I was 18, 19 years old. I'm 48. I haven't died yet. I guess it ain't as bad as they say it is. Artificial sweeteners. And I used to put a lot in my coffee, remember?
Yeah.
So I'm still here.
Well, I drink Diet Coke. I drink.
Exactly.
I think that was a perfect example, you guys, of beware of the clickbait.
Yes.
And don't cite facts based on headlines that you read. They are so misleading. You have to dig a little deeper. You have to dig a little deeper if you are going to be quoting it, as fact on someone's social media.
Because I'm going to hear it too. I'll be talking.
You're going to hear it.
I'm going to talk to somebody, not even health related. Well, somehow sweeteners will be brought up. Oh man, I heard sweeteners are womb to womb for the heart. Who's your source, people?
Well,
where'd you find your source, bro?
The thing that's annoying is that I don't want to have the conversation.
Nah, me neither.
Do you.
Don't worry about me.
I don't.
Don't worry about this capsule. I got this.
I say it here, you guys, and I talk about these things on the podcast, but I am not someone that will engage in these kind of individual conversations with people. If someone says like, oh my God, you drink Diet Coke, aren't you afraid of having a heart attack or stroke? I will answer with no.
That's it.
And that's it.
I'm not going to elaborate.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm not going to waste my time.
No. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't have to explain myself why I'm drinking this.
No.
I don't. Cool.
Cool. Okay.
You know what we should do? We should do a study. We'll do a post. We're going to do a post. Put a Diet Coke. You're going to drink that. Chemicals. I'm going to fucking pour you a shot of tequila. Drink that. I want to see what the comments will be like one day.
Exactly.
See who's got what to say.
Yeah.
They're going to get on you about the Diet Coke, but not one person going to bring up, she just drank tequila. Not one of you guys got nothing to say about how bad that's for the liver and other systems in your body.
Know. It is just comedy, I swear.
Yeah, man. Don't fall for the effery out there, you guys, because there's some bullshit out there.
I do want to share a review that we got, and thank you to Darlene714. She wrote, "This is my new favorite treadmill walking podcast to listen to. I'm trying to get healthy and stay healthy, and they keep me motivated." Thank you, Darlene. I'm glad we can be of assistance in any way. Make sure you send me an email because I want to treat you to some coffee. Janine@JanineEscobar.com. We really appreciate it. I can't even stress enough. We appreciate you guys taking time to leave a review. It really does help us, as we try to climb those charts and keep this podcast going for you guys. We have a lot of cool things planned, podcast studio and interviews and just fun stuff that we plan on doing in the future.
Mix it up.
I just really appreciate it. All right. So we are moving on. I want to talk about the fact that we as humans are always wanting to find the easy way, or we want something to become easy. That we want to get something, we want to be it in the easiest way.
Yes.
So what's the easiest way for me to lose 10 pounds? What's the easiest way for me to get a 6-pack or gain more muscle, right?
Yes.
When we were listening to something, it was like something on YouTube, you and I, earlier this weekend, and it clicked for me, and it was, if things were easy, we would not desire them.
Nope.
The things that are desirable that you want, they are desirable because they are not easy. They are hard to obtain.
Yes.
The minute they become easy,
Mm-hmm.
they will not be as desirable and you won't want to do it. I want you to start embracing the fact that things are difficult.
Yes.
Like, enjoy that they're difficult.
Yep.
Because then you can be like, hell yeah,
It'll
I'm
level you
doing
up.
something that's hard.
It'll bring the inner beast out slowly. Trust me. You want to do things that are hard and difficult. Joe Rogan talks about that too. I like that. That's why I like his podcast, Soap and the Dialogue. He always says that. He goes, same thing you say. If things were easy, then we need to be challenged. We need hard things. We can't be just comfortable in life.
Yeah, you made a comment to me and said that the problem is we've become comfortable.
Yes.
Things have become easy, too easy.
Too easy.
You know, it
convenient.
used to be difficult, right? You used to have to send the man out to try to go hunt for food. And
Yep.
if he didn't find anything, your family didn't eat.
Yes.
And it was difficult.
Difficult.
And now things have just become so easy and convenient that the minute that something is a little challenging, people want to jump ship.
Quick.
When something becomes challenging, that's when you have to like buckle down and push harder.
Yes.
Avoid the temptation to want to like change lanes the minute something gets difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Gotta stay the course. Don't give
Yes.
up. Because you'll never know what you're made of. You'll never know your true potential. None of us will. You got to tap into that inner beast. It's there. I promise you, it's there. But you have to tap into it. It all starts up here in the
yeah, it
mind.
just made me really think, like, why is it that, and it's so true. Like, if you think about it, like we're, working on something here on the back end that we'll be announcing soon. But if it were super easy, like we would have done it in two days or something like that, and it was super easy, would it be desirable?
No.
Would we be excited about it or proud
Or
to
valuable?
have it?
Would it be valuable?
No, it wouldn't be valuable. When things are easy, they're not as valued.
Yeah.
It's the same phenomenon with shopping and supply and demand, right? Like I've talked about it before, like Yeezys, right? If you could walk into a shoe store and they had just tons of Yeezys. Yeezys is Kanye West's brand, but they've never been available in a store like in stock. It is something that they're difficult to find and get.
Yeah. He does that on purpose.
If they were in a store, like, would they be as popular and desirable? I don't believe so at all. I think they would just be another shoe that's, if you like the style, you get it. If not,
And I'll stop you right there. You're so absolutely right. Because remember Jordans, there was the craze of Jordans resell.
Right.
Well, they started slipping and having Jordans available too easy.
Yeah.
Foot Locker had them. Shoe Palace
And then
had them.
what
Like
happened?
Jordans.
The
like,
desire.
the desire went down bad. I remember
Because of
it
supply and
killed again.
demand.
Then they got smart and said, we're going to pull back again. And they pulled
Because
back.
people want to feel like they have something exclusive that's
Yes.
hard to get. Your body is the same. It's exclusive.
Yes.
I don't want
Facts.
this to be easy to achieve.
No.
I want it to be something that is difficult that people have to work for.
Yes. And what's the most difficult part? The eating. That's the
Yes.
big one.
It's difficult.
It is.
And so enjoy that. Embrace the difficulty because that'll make it more, I don't know, easier to stick to if you embrace that, like, this is difficult because not a lot of people can do it. But
No.
I am doing it, so I'm freaking special.
And it's crazy because you see it in society. You see the way people stare and look. When you're a fit person and you know, like, people could see it in your body, you're wearing something revealing, like that you're fit, people stare. They don't mean to, but they gravitate their eyes because it's not very common now.
Because it's not common.
Because our society has grown larger, and it's sad, and we see it. It's crazy.
Okay,
the new norm.
72%. 72%. That's more than 7 out of 10 people in America over the age of 20 are obese. That means their BMI is over 30.
That's bad.
72%. That's crazy.
We need to fix it. This is out of control because it seems like it's climbing from the 80s to now. It jumped huge.
That statistic floored me.
Yeah,
Honestly, that like stopped me in my tracks.
that's bad. So, I mean, 7 out of 10 people in society are obese.
A little more than 7 out of 10 people.
That's super not good.
It's
And guess
just
who's, and not to get conspiracy theories, but guess who's making a lot of money off of this? Hospitals, pharmaceuticals. You need your medicines, doctor visits, and this and that. So you could avoid all that if you take care of your health. I keep saying, invest in yourself.
Yeah, I read some other statistics here. If you are over 30 and you do not have a huge belly, you're in the top 10% of fitness. You are literally in the top 10% of all people if you are 30 and you do not have a belly that goes over your pants. If you are someone that does resistance training, like you are regularly in the gym lifting weights, you are in the top 5%.
That's
top
me.
5 percentile of all people. That's me too.
Me too.
If you are someone that does resistance training and cardio regularly, top 1%.
That's me.
So we're 1%ers.
Wow, 1%ers. Badge of honor.
So like if you're out there, regardless, even if you're not where you want to be yet, if you are doing these things that are difficult, that most people are not doing, which is exercising, trying to follow some macros, trying to get on track, you are already in the top 10% of all people. Yeah. You are doing something difficult that most people aren't doing. That right there is something that you should give yourself a pat on the back for.
Yes.
Every time you get up and you put your shoes on and you go complete a workout that you didn't really feel like doing it, you are the creme de la creme.
You did it.
You are in an upper echelon of society, of health and fitness, even if you are not where you want to be yet. I think that people think that they can't celebrate those successes because they maybe still have some weight to lose or they haven't been doing it long enough. No, F that. If you're doing it, even, one day, celebrate it. You gotta reinforce it. Let your brain know, let yourself know, your internal thoughts know that you're doing the right thing. Keep going.
Yes.
Like we talked about in the last episode, self-talk is very important.
Super important.
So rather than be fixated on how far you need to go, make sure you are celebrating like the little things.
Yeah. And I would recommend reading some good-ass books that'll fire that mind up. Yeah. David Goggins, Tony Robbins. It's all in the mind, you guys. Listen, what do you want to be on this earth? You want to be a weenie or a savage? You have a choice. You have the choice.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Women of today are way stronger than women of yesterday. What I mean by that is I turn on the TV. Look how many women MMA fighters. They're savages. They chose to be. I'm not going to be a victim. I'm a savage. I can defend myself. I can protect myself. It's just a different mindset. Women are competing in Olympic lifting sports. They're stronger. It's all here. Why are those women so strong and competitive and they're winners? Because they put in their mind that they're winners and the champions.
Yeah.
You got to do the same. You got to do the same thing.
I feel like just a lot of people
plant that seed before you even get to your goal. That 100%. You're there already. Plant it.
Yes.
Manifest it.
Yes. And I
Visualize
feel like a lot of times, and I hear this a lot, people will say, like, I'm just not ready. Like, I know what I need to do. I get this a lot, right? I know what I need to do. I know how to lose weight. I know how to track macros. I'm just not like there. I'm just not ready. Listen.
You're never going to be ready.
Yes. Never going to be ready.
There is no tomorrow. Remember that from Rocky. Now.
There is no tomorrow.
Yeah. That's real.
Yeah.
Because.
Ooh, yeah, maybe I'm feeling like this after watching Creed.
Yeah.
It is so important to consume good content, movies, shows, podcasts that are going to motivate you.
Yes.
It is so, because I notice a difference in my mentals when I listen to things that, like this.
No. And what's that show that you watch that I get disgusted? Like it's not motivating at all. I'm not trying to rag.
It's entertaining though.
Yeah,
My 600-pound life.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm.
You know what? It was very.
I need things that get me fired up too.
Yeah, you said it's demotivating. So if it's demotivating, you shouldn't watch it.
No.
Do you know why I watched it though?
You learn a lot, I'm sure too. It's all mental psyche.
You keep interrupting me, but I'm trying to say that.
Sorry.
It helped me understand what goes into becoming obese like that, the mental side of it, what is happening. It helped me have a different perspective on what they go through, and that at some point in time, food becomes medicine.
Yeah.
And a painkiller. And it's very informative. So I took it more of like a research project to help me understand. I work with clients that are obese. I need to understand what brought them there. A lot of times it's like child trauma.
Yes, that's true.
A lot of times it's traumas, and that's how they deal with like certain traumas, Yeah. So for me, it wasn't demotivating. It was educational. Because I do get upset when people listen. I do feel like you can wake up and be obese and not realize how you got there. I do believe that.
Man, I was close. I was there.
Yeah.
You think I was?
Did you know it happened? Like, so I don't like
I
when
know.
people like are quick to say like, oh, you did it to yourself or whatever. Be
Quick to
careful.
judge.
Be careful because your life might take a turn. You might have some sort of sickness or illness or have to take a medication or go through something, and you might wake up one day and be obese.
Careful throwing rocks.
I never
at a
thought
glass-stone house. Yeah.
that I was going to be a 220 pounds. I was always very conscious, even as a teenager and junior high. I felt that. That's what I felt. I felt like I woke up literally one day, and I remember I looked in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I thought, how did this happen? I had like a panic. I looked at myself and I thought, how did this happen? Like, I have no idea how I got here.
How did we get here to this place? You're right. It'd be like that.
Yeah. So I have empathy. I'll never be that person that says that to somebody because it can happen. Yeah. It's like a runaway train. And
she'll put a pickup to show the proof to people if you don't believe her.
Yeah.
220.
So, so I have so much empathy for that, but I also want to help people get out of that. And a lot of times it is a little bit of tough love. Like, all right, I get there. You're here now, but we got to do something about it.
This is life or death for a lot of these people. There's no more effing around. This is life or death. You want to live or die. You got to make that choice.
Right.
You want to live? Let's go.
And a common thing that I hear, especially with the body positivity movement, a lot of people will say, I know I'm overweight, but I'm healthy. Do you know what you have to, I'm not saying that you, but on paper, can't be healthy if you are overweight on paper. But what I can tell you is that it will catch up with you at some point. Yes. It's kind of like if you don't take care of your car, but you say, I know I don't take care of it. I don't change the oil. I don't do services on it, but it starts and it runs and I get from point A to point B and it works fine until it doesn't. Mm-hmm. Until one day it won't start.
This is you. You're way ahead of the race for now. And then the Grim Reaper every year, 2, 5, 10 years before you know he's on you. And now you're in your deathbed. How did we get here? There you go. You messed around. You messed around too long.
Eventually, if you don't take care of that car, it's going to break down.
Yes.
But while it's not breaking down, it seems to run fine.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And no signals, no nothing. You just drive along, doot, doot, doot. Some people will get lucky and start to get a little bit of signals that things are like, okay.
Yes. They might heed the warning like, oh, I better stop effing around with this. Now it's time
they'll
to turn
get
around.
little things. You start walking different.
Yes.
Your joints start hurting, things. Yep. Again, remember a lot of times too, when you think you're fine, it's not that you are fine. It's that the body is amazing at adapting.
Yes.
And then you also become used to feeling that way.
Yep.
I think that too many people are used to feeling like shit.
They are. That's
and
funny
they
you say that.
think they feel okay. That's their baseline.
That's their baseline. Until you cross over to the other side and clean things up and actually make a life decision, then you're like, why the hell didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah.
I feel like vibrant, like a new burst of energy.
Right.
Like, listen, Dana White went on keto and people kind of had their opinions. The guy looks great. He has a different balance. He looks vibrant. He looks so much better. Working for him.
If it's working for you and
it's like he got a new lead on life.
Yeah.
So what? I don't understand why people don't search for that.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
And you have to listen and you have to find something that works for you.
Yes.
You have to find something that works for you. And don't be afraid to try different things for something to click. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like that's the problem. I feel like people are used to being bloated every time they eat and having to take a nap after they eat or unbutton their pants.
That was me. All that.
Feel
good, yeah.
And I'm always learning and evolving. And if you think I know it all right now, like I can sit here and say, I know it all and I'm perfect and I always make the right choices. No. Okay. I'm still learning and evolving and tweaking all the time. There are times, that I overeat on a cheat day. And I get that, and I get that feeling, like when I'm going to bed, like, oh man, I ate way too much today. Yeah. I have not done that on my cut at all.
You've been good.
I feel, and it's such a reminder, like, man, I forgot how good it feels not to like go over the top. Yeah. It feels great. Like,
right. Sleep good.
Yeah. Just everything is better.
You're not
it's
like
a
on
good
cheat nights.
reminder.
You're not tossing and turning because too much sodium.
Yeah, but I'm still enjoying myself. I
Yes.
don't know. I ate all kinds of things yesterday, but I didn't overeat. I didn't overdo anything.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
But I'm constantly learning and evolving, and that's okay too.
Yes,
but I do feel that it's a good reminder I just a reminder that you don't feeling like shit is not the norm.
No.
I really want you to ask yourself when you say I feel pretty good. Do you though?
Yeah.
Do you get sick a lot?
Are you tired all the time? Like my boys would tell me like, damn, Mama, I'm tired. I don't have no energy. And then when I saw my boy the other day, I'm like, well, bro, I mean, I don't want to be a dick, but you're packing on a little too much weight, homie.
You know what's so funny?
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be,
guys can do that.
Like, bro,
girls can't do that.
I know.
Cannot.
Like, bro, you got to lose some elbows, dog. Like, I'm just being honest as a friend. Like, that's why you're tired, bro. Like some pounds, you know?
I love that.
You got to shed some weight off.
And do you think he took offense to that?
No, I'm just like, that's why you're tired, bro. You're getting older. True. But you got to keep that weight down. Let me tell you something. If I snap my finger and you lost 15 pounds right now, you would have a burst of energy. Like, that's 15 pounds you're carrying less on the frame. Mm-hmm. You have a different bounce to you. You're lugging extra weight. Of course, you're going to be a little tired.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You know, it's just funny to me. Like, I don't feel good. I'm tired. Well, how are you eating? Are you exercising? Are you drinking water? Are you sleeping? Like, you better get an Apple Watch and track all your stuff and find out what you're doing. People they throw things and they don't know why they feel the way they feel.
Yeah, but you gotta, if you don't feel good, and I want you to stop and really think. I want you to stop and really ask yourself, do you feel good?
Be honest with yourself too.
Are you energetic?
Yes.
And what do I mean by energy? Do you have enough energy to get through 12 waking hours? Like, can you function and be a productive citizen for 12 hours? Because that's about my tank.
Yeah.
It's 12 hours, but I am nonstop for 12 hours.
Mm-hmm. From working out to running errands to running your business to,
taking care of my dad. Mm-hmm. I mean, taking care of dogs, doing everything. I have 12 hours in the tank. I feel good. I go to sleep. I sleep good. And then I wake up the next day and I do another 12 hours. Not to, knock on wood, but I am rarely sick. Rarely.
And you never take naps.
I do not take
naps.
naps.
I'll take a little 10-minute and 15-minute siesta, but you never.
Nope. I don't take naps. I sleep well. The last time I was sick was August of 2021. I know some people that are sick every month. Yes. Every month. Some sort of sickness.
Right?
Some cold, some sickness, every single month. And you have to ask yourself, if that is happening, there's something wrong with your immune system.
Yes.
Because you should be, obviously, if you're getting sick often, you're someone who's exposed to a lot of germs. But if you are exposed to a lot of germs, your body should be very good at fighting those germs.
Exactly.
And if you continue to get sick, there's something not right. Your health is not optimized.
Weren't you around your cousin when she had COVID, you said?
Yeah, we worked out together twice.
And
both times that she had COVID, we spent the day before she tested positive together. Uh-huh. And we actually had seen each other Saturday, and then Tuesday she had COVID. She tested positive for COVID on Thursday. She was already feeling sick Tuesday when we met, because I remember she said, I'm not feeling well.
That's when it's starting.
I'm not feeling well. I don't think I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go home, go to bed, whatever. So she already had it, and we're on a treadmill working out together.
Damn.
And I did not get it. And even the first time she got COVID, a couple of years before that, we worked out together every single day.
I remember that.
She was coming over. I thought for sure I have it.
Yes.
Didn't have it.
You warned us. Yep.
I feel like I have a really strong immune system. Obviously, I did eventually get COVID.
Yes.
But I don't get little colds and sicknesses and flus and stuff like that. I don't.
Especially since we gave up partying. Like we don't run our bodies down no more drinking like that.
I did notice
all hours of the night. And
when we would party and go to Vegas, because you run your body down so much, the lack of sleep, the alcohol
in your liver,
then you're exposed obviously to a lot of germs.
Yep.
I would always get sick after.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Me too. That was like normal. I almost expected it, right?
Yeah. It's like you're going to come home, you're going to be sick. You know what's interesting now, because I'm so in tune with how I feel? I know that there are times that I feel like something is trying to get me.
Like recently?
Yes. Like I'm like, you know what? Something is there. I hope it doesn't flourish. You know how you start to feel a little funky, and then you go to bed and wake up the next day and then you feel like you got hit by a truck?
Yes.
But I never wake up the next day and feel like I got hit by a truck. I feel like, oh, my body's doing something.
Yes.
I do have to say, when I feel that, I will make sure I will take extra zinc. I'll make sure I'm hitting my max intake of zinc, which is like 40 milligrams, because that helps.
Yeah.
So zinc and vitamin C, the first onset you think you might be sick, and drink water.
Water.
Lots
of
and
it.
lots of water.
Flush your body. Mm-hmm. I like you, same thing. I don't remember when, but I was feeling something kind of trying to give me some. I'll feel it in my throat, a little scratchy. Like that's where it begins for me a lot of times. And then it goes away. Like, okay, maybe it was just allergies. Maybe it's a little hay fever, allergies. Who knows? Because, I get allergies. But same thing. My immune system's been pretty good, too. I haven't really been sick either.
I know. And now that I talk about it, I'm going to knock on wood. Because, it could happen. And healthy people get sick. I'm not saying that you're not healthy.
No, of course.
I'm just saying, if you get sick often, you got to take a look. Take a look at your supplementation.
Yep.
But I mean the basics, guys. For every single disease or so many different things out there that they say, well, how can you prevent it? Like I've looked into colon cancer a lot lately, obviously. I had the precancer polyps, my dad had colon cancer, all of that, right? So I'm looking into, okay, are they looking into what's causing this?
I know.
Everything I find so far basically says the things you can do to reduce the risk is maintain a healthy weight and exercise. So you guys, thousands and thousands of diseases you can reduce the risk just by maintaining a healthy weight and exercising.
What do you always say? Control the controllable.
Yes.
You can control that. You can't control external forces in the world, but you can control yourself.
Right.
That's it. You know what I mean? But people I don't know. They don't care. They'll control their household. They'll make sure their car runs good. They'll invest in this, invest in that, go to church religiously, sometimes twice a day.
Yeah.
But they just put their vessel to the side like it doesn't matter. This is the most important thing right here. Is us,
and I know we talk about it a lot, but it's because I'm trying to drill it into you guys, honestly.
You have to. We're trying to drill into your brain so something breaks and snaps in there.
Because I don't want what happens that so often that makes me really sad is because people, they're in denial until they have something major happen.
A scare. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's too late once the major thing happens.
Yeah.
But they have something major. People live in denial thinking they're invincible.
I know.
That nothing ever is going to happen.
Or even people.
Or it's not going to happen to them.
Or people who are in large bodies, large. I'm like, do something before it's too late. Don't be in denial, man. I see society's just in denial out there like zombies. Like, you could do something about it. It's not too late, but.
I know, it was sad, actually. Speaking of that show, the My 600-Pound Life, one of the episodes, it broke my heart. It broke my heart because one of the people they were following, he didn't make it.
No.
He didn't make it. And
Damn.
the doctor would tell him, your body, you're trying to outrun things right now. Like, yes, you're on the right path. He had lost quite a bit of weight. He did the weight loss surgery. But Dr. Now is his name. He was like, but we're running out of time. Like, your body could fail before we get you to where it needs to be. You need to understand that. Like, it was really clear. And then, it showed that, he didn't make it.
How big was this person?
He started out at 900 pounds.
Whoa.
But he died at 400 pounds.
That's too bad. He sliced himself in half. He probably felt like so good too.
He didn't though. He was having a hard time.
Even at 400 pounds?
Yeah, he's still bedridden, having a really hard time just because his body was starting to shut down.
Yeah.
They were trying to outrun the shutdown of the body.
What do you always say? Once the damage is done to the heart, there's no...
The organs. Once your organs are...
Certain organs
they
just
start to fail, And you also have to remember that if you can keep the healthiest possible body for as long as you can, you're giving yourself a fighting chance or buying time, even if you do catch a disease. So, for example, my dad, he has colon cancer, stage 4. It spread to his liver. So he does have cancer in his liver. If he was a man that was not a healthy man, that drank alcohol and was overweight his whole life, he would have had a compromised liver, a fatty liver, or potentially a cirrhotic liver.
Yep.
Metastasized colon cancer to a cirrhotic liver, death sentence.
Game over.
Immediate.
Done deal.
They die.
It's over.
It's very quickly.
Quick.
And I talked to his doctor, recently, just kind of like giving him an update or whatever. And I was like, you had given me like a timeline for how long he would survive. And we're kind of getting close to the end of that timeline. He's doing well still, very like low symptoms. He goes, it's really hard to predict. He said, but your dad had a very healthy body other than the cancer. And, when cancer enters a healthy organ, it's going to take longer to take over that organ. So it buys him time.
Yes.
So instead of looking at it negatively, thinking like, because he's said this before, like, I worked so hard to try to be healthy. I always went to the doctor, and here I am with colon cancer. It was a waste of time. But I'm like, no, Dad, it wasn't a waste of time, because if you hadn't had done those things and cancer took over your body, it would have taken you immediately. You wouldn't have survived the surgery.
Yes.
You wouldn't have had all this additional time that's so valuable and gold and memories with family. It's now we're approaching almost a year since his diagnosis. He wouldn't have had that. The cancer would have taken him even before we found out about it.
So check this out. Funny you say this. I'm going to rewind to my mother, 65 years old. Same surgery as your father.
Yes.
Cancer in the colon. We didn't understand what it was.
But it was colon cancer, yes.
Well, her body didn't take. Her body failed her. Why did her body fail her?
Yeah, because she was diabetic, overweight.
Heart was
organ damage.
Yes.
When you're overweight and you're diabetic, you have kidney damage. You probably had fatty liver. So the same
So my mother became septic, correct? It didn't take the surgery.
Yes, because what happened was, which is a risk of the surgery, when you operate on the colon and it doesn't heal properly, your waste enters into the body.
Yes.
And you die like within days.
And that's what happened.
And that is what happened because she was diabetic. She didn't heal properly. No. The sutures didn't hold. Mm-mm. And she died of sepsis. Yes. And she was how much younger than my dad? 17 years younger. So if she had a healthy lifestyle and was not overweight and managed her diabetes better,
yes,
and still contracted the colon cancer, she would have had a fighting chance.
Yes, because if her body would have took that, who knows how many more years she could have lived?
Exactly.
You don't know.
So there's the difference. Therein lies the difference. It's such a good comparison.
Yeah.
Because I've often had that conversation with my dad where he gets upset. Like, why did I worry so much if I just ended up with cancer anyways? I said, but it did matter. It is helping.
Yeah.
It is giving you time.
Yes, it is.
It's valuable time, Yeah. So it just goes to show you guys your health is wealth.
It is. Tell you. That word gets tossed around so loosely.
But it's so true.
But really dissect it and really think how deep that word is. It's so true. It's everything. I don't care if you win the Powerball tomorrow. Who cares? If you got stage 4 cancer or something, or your health, or your heart's bad, or your liver's bad, or something, I mean, what's the point? Yeah, you'll get to enjoy some of that money, but not for long. So
that is true.
Do something now before it's too late, like you said. Do something now. Don't wait.
Do something now. Pretend that event already has happened.
Yes.
What
Scare
would
yourself.
You do?
Scare yourself into motivation, or scare yourself to
it's kind of like
forward.
remember that show years ago? It was like an MTV show. I think it was called Scared Straight.
Yes.
They would take kids and throw them in jail or something like that.
Oh, you bring them to San Quentin and Folsom Prison, to the big house. They thought you were a badass? Watch this. You're going to be with some killers in there.
Yeah, to show you this is what it could be. It's almost like that. You need
Remember they would lock them up sometimes overnight to get a feeling. These inmates were going crazy, shaking the bars like, I can't wait till these gates open. I'm going to get you, youngin'.
Yeah, and they
letting them know.
Crap their pants.
Of course.
So it's it's kind of like something like that. Yeah. Everybody needs to be.
We do. All of America needs to wake up and scare themselves like, yo, I have to do something now or I'm going to die next year or in 6 months. Pretend that. You have to, whatever it takes, because it's coming. Maybe not in a year, maybe not in 2, maybe not in 5, but it's coming. You just don't know when.
Not to mention, and I'm going to leave you with this because I don't want to leave in such a downward convo. I want you guys to experience how good it feels to feel good.
Yes.
We were just talking about that.
Yes.
When we're out walking. We're out walking, enjoying the sunshine.
Today, yes.
You feel good, like you're moving. You're breathing the fresh air. You're getting vitamin D. Yes. Your knees don't hurt. Your hips don't hurt. Nope. You're enjoying the walk because you're healthy and fit, and you're walking because you truly enjoy it. And it just feels good to feel good.
Yes. People need to feel that.
Yeah.
They don't. It's crazy. It feels good.
Yeah, it feels good to feel good. I want you to...
I know.
That's why earlier in this episode, I wanted you to stop and really ask yourself, do you feel your best? Do you really? Are you getting sick a lot? Are you sleeping well? Are you not sleeping? Are you tired all the time? Do you have aches and pains? Okay? You don't, and I hate it. and I'm going on a tangent now again, because I cannot stand when someone tells me that, like, oh, well, wait till you're this age. Wait till you're that age. Listen, I've had that people telling me that for years, okay? Because I'm always the youngest. I was the youngest child. I'm always the youngest amongst like people I'm with, and they would always say like, oh, but you're young. Wait until you're 40. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm 40 now. Now what? Well, wait till you're 45. Okay, well, now I'm 45. I feel pretty good. Now what? Well, wait till you're 50. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to feel damn good when I'm 50. Because I'm tired of hearing people say that.
They don't want to believe it.
But I remember there was a time when I was told that I used to think like, oh my God, I wonder what is going to happen to me. Because I would hear it, wait till you're 30. It started back then. Oh. And I would think, God, like, what happens when you're, oh, well, your metabolism. I used to hear this bullshit.
Yeah.
That your metabolism changes. It's impossible to lose weight and all these things, right? None of those things happened.
No. These people are just selling fake news. Well, from what they heard, I heard. That's what it. No source, no nothing, no data. Just I heard.
No, because the truth is that I felt the best I ever felt in my entire life, starting at age 35 until now. 35. Before that, not so much.
Because you partied.
Sick a lot.
Yes, you drank.
Yo-yo diet, cardio bunny, no muscle, too skinny, all the things.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't until 35 years old. So now the last 12 years have been the best I've ever felt.
You built a strong body too.
So yeah, I'm going to keep working on it. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm not going to, it's a mindset thing too. I'm not going to think like, oh, I better enjoy it now because when I'm 50, I'm going to be old and decrepit. No, fuck that. I'm not. I'm going to be the healthiest version of 50. And when I'm 55, I'm going to be the healthiest version of 55. Yep. You have to tell yourself that.
Yes, same thing.
And don't let the naysayers try to take you down off your perch.
It's because they can't do it or they won't do it or they don't have the discipline. So they want to bring you down to their level.
Yeah, they want to take you down because they are older and they feel a certain way. So they want to make sure that, oh, no, but don't worry, you're going to feel just like I feel right now. Like, no, how about I'm not?
And you know what's funny about that? Like, I watch these videos on these older dudes, 65, 70, ripped older men. Hey, you know who I get bothered the most by? Our younger dudes. Like, bro, yes, he's probably on TRT. So effing what?
Yeah, why
he's
do people
65, 70 years old. He's a senior citizen. What do you expect him to do,
They
bro?
want to discount
you
it
know
all
what I
the
mean?
time.
Then they're in good shape. They're doing the diet. They're training hard. It's just showing like, listen, at an old age, you can still build muscle. Okay, we need a little help. So what?
Because people want to make themselves feel better as to why they weren't able to obtain it.
Yes.
That's why they'll do the Ozempic. You know, they'll like throw something out like, oh, you just got that because of this.
Yes.
Steroids. Yeah, but none of that stuff is like a machine that you walk in, you press the steroid button, and you become
you don't inject a shot in your body all of a sudden. You look like He-Man.
You still got to work at it.
You got to very hard.
But people like to like to burst your bubble.
Yes.
If you've achieved something that they haven't been able to,
jealousy is a mofo.
Or they're insecure about, they will try to burst your bubble.
Yes, they will.
Don't let them do that.
No.
I cannot stand. Do not surround yourself with people who want to burst your bubble. Those aren't your people. Okay, find your people. Find the people that want to raise you up.
Yep.
They don't want to take you down. And if you've achieved something they haven't been able to, the right person will say, "You look amazing. How can you help me? I want to do that too." They won't say, "Oh yeah, you got that now, but wait till you're this age," or "You wouldn't have that if you're this." Those are the wrong people.
Yes.
Okay. Remove those people from your life.
See ya. Cut them out like.
Listen, I got a big set of scissors. People know my scissors. If someone brings me negativity and like,
don't let them mess with your energy.
Disrupts my joy.
Yes.
I take my big ass scissors and go cut. I just out of my life.
Yeah, you don't need
I have zero time for negativity and naysayers and that kind of mentality in my life.
Look at it like this. Does anybody want cancer in the body? Hell no. So why do you want cancerous people around you?
Yeah.
Look at it like that. They're toxic cancer. They're cancers to my thoughts. I don't want that. Get out of my thoughts. Get out of my face. Go do you. That's it. I'm not bothering you. Go do you. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Some people just they want to be cancerous.
I'll be over here drinking my Diet Coke.
Yes.
Walking, enjoying my vitamin D, exercising, sleeping good.
Yes.
And they could do whatever they want.
Exactly. That's it.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.